Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today I'm very excited to be joined by Dr. Donna Marie Cozine, founder of Sister Leader Press, a leadership and organization consulting firm that helps executives, founders, and organizations build strong culture, effective leaders, and sustainable performance. With a background that blends strategy, leadership psychology, and real-world experience, Donna works with leaders who want more than surface-level fixes. Her work is about clarity, accountability, and building organizations where people and performance actually align. Donna, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Olivia. You have the perfect voice for a podcast host.
I appreciate that. I think it's just the English accent, but I will take it nonetheless. Okay. But Donna, I'm very much excited to dive in and learn more about your journey. So with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you was doing before you started up the company, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Love it. Thank you for the question and the intro. It's funny, I guess I've always been entrepreneurial and didn't know it. Prior to starting the company, I was a CEO of a charter school. And in the United States, a charter school is a public school that is started by individuals. So it's not a district school. And I started that from a mustard seed of an idea, and I grew it to over 500 children and 97 staff members in the 7 years that I was there. Decided to leave to go into executive coaching, and that's when I wrote my first and my second book. So I created this company called Consult DMC, and now I have branched over to Sister Leader Press, which falls under the Sister Leader movement, which is about helping women do more, get more, and live the life that they deserve. So I work with women executives and their teams on systems to create work-life harmony. Because as women, we have two full-time jobs, right? We have our 9 to 5, and then we get home and we have our parents, our siblings, our children, our partners that all need us. As women, we carry that emotional weight. So I specialize in that. And then about a year and a half ago, women started asking me, how did you write 4 books? And I realized that women have stories to tell, and entrepreneurial women can use those stories to grow their businesses or start new ones. So I started a branch of my business called Sister Leader Press, where I help women write books to grow businesses. There are 3 phases: write it, publish it, and monetize it.
How amazing. So had that burning itch to be an entrepreneur from early on, and then obviously using all that experience you did by growing the school and now putting that into helping others do the same or a similar kind of thing in their world. How amazing and how cool. How did you find the transition into entrepreneurship when you first encountered it? Was it something that you really, really enjoyed getting your hands on?
It was difficult, I'm going to tell you, because I'm the type of person who is more motivated by helping other people. So when I was running the school, I was motivated by, making sure the kids and the families and the teachers, and then all of a sudden I'm in my own world. And I don't have a problem letting myself down. It's letting other people down. So I think the most difficult part of entrepreneurism that I found was that I'm an expert at what I do. I'm not expert at marketing, and I'm not expert at sales. So there was a really big curve for that. But I've niched down, and I think that serving women and now adding this other piece with the book writing for women has really clicked for me. I feel like I'm working in my zone of genius, and it feels pretty easy.
I love that. And that will just help carry it through. When things feel easy and they feel right, it's just your purpose, right? That's where you want to be, in that zone of brilliance. So let's dive into the business a little bit more then. So when it does come to obviously Sister Leader Press, who would you say is your ideal client? Who do you very, very much love to work with the most? And then from there, how is you help them and support them throughout their journey?
Oh, great question. So when I think about my ideal client, it would be a woman who is an entrepreneur currently who already has a program or an offer. She's really clear on who she serves, how she serves them, etc. I love working with those people because they are so on for writing their book. They've wanted to do it for a long time. We know what their methodology is. The book practically writes itself. However, I also love helping those people who are burgeoning entrepreneurs because that's who I was. And I
Mm.
wish I knew then what I know now so I can kind of teach them as I'm going along. Recently, I've been doing master classes, which I've done before, but I have zhuzhed it a little bit different. And the master classes are going really well for me in terms of being an entree to get some clients. So now I'm teaching my people, like, hey, this is the methodology I use. How could you use this yourself? So I love that part of it because women can see, yeah, I can make an extra $1,000 a month. I can make an extra 20,000 a month or $50,000 a month, depending on how much time, effort, and energy I'm ready to put into it.
Awesome. And like when it does come to writing the book, what is that process like? Is it in person, online? Like how do we go about kind of completing that step? I know we touched on it earlier, but it did perk my ears up to hear more.
Yeah, love that. So I have two offers. I have an in-person VIP offer, which is either I come to you or you come to me in New York or Florida. That's for the people who are like, I just want like I want Donna Marie with me. I want this thing done in 5 days. And in 5 days, we can actually have the cover and all the editing and everything like ready to go. The other offer is a virtual offer where we do it over Zoom. And regardless of which level a person enters into, the first step is meeting with me one-on-one over Zoom to really get your messaging down, to get what you're going to talk about. So
Mm.
I'll give you an example. Recently, I've had two really amazing experiences in the last couple weeks where I think that my system has gotten better because of I'm watching the outcomes. So I
Oh,
have women who have started with me like on a Thursday doing the one-on-one. And on Monday, they start writing, and Wednesday, their book is done, and I'm already done with the first round of edits. That's
mm,
really fast. And that's really amazing because the woman can get the book out in the world. A lot of
yeah.
times people say, oh, I've been wanting to write a book for years. Well, I can help you get it out in the world in less than years. You know, we can get it out there in 30 to 60 days, depending on it slows down a little bit after the writing is done because then there are other parts we have to lean on
Yeah.
other people for. But it's for women who are like, I'm done playing small. I want to get this book written and I just need to get it done. I need to get it out of my body.
Yeah. I can actually think like just off the top of my head, at least five people I know that have said that already to me. Like, I really want to write a book. It's just sitting down and finding that time. But like with having you there besides or like hand in hand, that motivational key must be like such a big boost for people. And then I'm assuming there must be a lot of coaching involved as well, right? Maybe some inner work to get, depending on what's the book about, so to get those feelings and those thoughts on a page and on paper. So with that being said, are you very, not very picky, but are you aware of that when you choose the kind of people that you work with or that you onboard as clients? Is that kind of playing in your mind? It has to be a good fit on both sides.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, especially since the offer has really grown so much. I mean, to think 25 books in 1 year and it's just me, right? I'm
Yeah.
very boutique. I really want to invest all in my clients. I think it's pretty clear if a person is ready to invest in the program, they're ready to be serious about writing their book, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a price tag and it's not $2. Um, but you don't have to be a great writer because that's where my support comes into place. You know, I have a recipe, if you will, of what goes into each chapter. We front load and I take notes so that when you open up your manuscript the day of, it's like, oh, I know exactly what I'm writing about instead of staring at a blank computer screen. I find that the women consistently say to me, wow, this is easy. I thought this was going to be a struggle, but this has really been easy. I've had women all of a sudden, I'll get a message, I'm done. I was like, you were supposed to be done 3 hours ago. I thought we were done. Like we were done. She's like, I just couldn't stop writing. I was like, okay, well, that you need to go to bed, right? You know, and the feeling of relief to get these books out there. But I think the part that people don't realize is that's just like the first part of it, right? So
Mhm.
writing your book is the first part. Really using it to figure out how to grow your business is key. And so many of my clients are able to do that and are getting more clients, getting more contracts than they had before without the book. And
Amazing. And
speaking engagements. I'm sorry, and speaking engagements, which is huge.
yeah, and as you say, it is like marketing, it's not just writing a book for the sake of writing a book. There is a purpose for that and we can monetize it. So that whole part of it is such valuable knowledge to have. So with that being said, like when it comes to marketing and it comes to acquiring customers yourself, what channels or methods are you really finding most effective in finding that right person to work with?
Yeah, great question. I have two currently, two things that I'm working simultaneously. It's kind of like an A/B test to see what's
Okay.
working. I have Instagram ads, and they're working pretty well. They're bringing people into my environment that I wouldn't have known otherwise. And I'm chatting with them in the DMs. So that's like market research for me too, right? Am I hitting
Yeah.
the right people? Am I getting people who are like, some people will say to me, "Oh, I want to write a fiction book." That's not what I do. So, like, okay, and I have to adjust my language there. And the second thing is relatively new. I started in November with my first masterclass. And I have a VA who's inviting people to the masterclass, et cetera. And the masterclass is really doing well. I'm converting a lot of people
Right.
from masterclass because I'm giving them value, right? At the
Yep.
class, they're actually outlining their entire book. Like they have it outlined, but that's not what stops people. What stops people is the lack of the accountability and the
Hmm.
time, right? For me to be able to collapse time for people and say, okay, now you've got your outline. If you want that book done, let's do it. I've been able to have people finish their books between they attended the November, let's say they attended the November workshop and their book manuscript was done by the December workshop. They attended the December workshop. When I do January 13th's masterclass, I have people from December who are done already. So then they come and they're like, I was where you were last month and now my manuscript is done. So that's been working well for me.
Yeah.
Plus, in my heart of heart, I started as a teacher. So I believe in really giving value. So listen, I'm out here to help women. If all you need was an outline to get you started, go for it.
Yeah.
Go find your own editor, publisher, proofreader, all of those things. Or if you want, work with me. It's all one package.
I like that. So not even pushy, it's just like being top of mind. And if they're ready, they're ready. And if they're not ready, we can see that and see how it goes in the future. I think
Yeah.
that's a great kind of tactic sometimes, that soft approach. And then you're always top of mind when you need to be. Masterminds are amazing as well, as you say, just giving people value online.
Mhm.
They're getting to hear your voice, they're getting to know you, and obviously hearing other people's successes while they're on the mastermind as well, which is really, really cool. When it comes to ads though, are you running all that yourself? And are you running the sales side yourself, or do you maybe have a team that are helping you out on the back end? Or is Donna fighting all the fires at the moment, wearing all the hats, wearing all the hats?
Well,
How's that going?
I'm onboarding a salesperson.
Okay.
And this is for anybody out there who's listening. I did my own sales since 2019. So they do say, you have to do your own sales calls to just kind of understand. And I get that. And I'm done with it because sales calls are not good for my energy. I'm
Yeah.
really good about helping people and having people do their zone of genius. My close rate is average. It's like 33%, which is good. I mean, that's what it normally is. They say that means you have a pretty solid offer. But I'm not good at when people say no, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
No
Even
worries. I'll see
I'm
you
like,
later.
okay, like the value's there. If you don't want it, keep it moving. Whereas like these women could be helped
Yeah.
if somebody really made them see the value. And I think I'm just too attached to the offer. So
Yeah.
I'm actually onboarding someone now. She, I think is going to be great. We're going to try it for 30 sales calls, see how she does,
Cool.
and we'll take it from there. And then I have a book cover designer who I work with, and I have a book interior designer who also has experience as an editor. So when I do scale, I can just, she has a lot more time. We're currently, we're doing maybe like right now, she's doing two or three books right now, designing them, but she still has time that I can pass edit
Hmm.
off to her. Whereas when people do their book in a weekend, they're with me, right? Let's do that. Now I can say, hey, I'm going to pass your book off to Olivia, who's going to do the editing, and I'll be watching, but that's that stage. And
Yeah.
then you're going to come back to me when it's time to launch it. And then we're going to do your launch plan. So they still
Nice.
get me because that's what they want. They want me. They don't want me to pass them off to somebody else. And I don't want to either. That's my goals are not to, you know, help publish 1,000 books a year. That'd be great, but that would be too much. I want to be involved in it.
Yeah, and I think it's just nice that you are able to alleviate some of your time so you can be more hands-on on the coaching, as you say,
Yeah.
sticking to your zone of brilliance. But just to touch on what you said, I do think it's important, especially founders when they're in the startup stages or very early on, to know every role, just so that you do, when your team starts to grow, you can be holding people accountable, you can know where to help them, you can know when to leave it. It's just nice to have an understanding of every position. But Donna, now that we're obviously into the new year as well, I'm very keen to find out what your plans are for the future. So when you think of like scaling the business and taking that next step, like what does that look like to you? What are your plans coming into the new year?
Great question. My offer is increasing. I told everyone in December, like it's going up. So it's increasing by 50% because it was
Mhm.
really priced well below competitors. It's still priced well below competitors, and that's fine. If we're talking money, I'd like to be at 50K months, which I don't think is going to be a big stretch for me because my last month was not so far off of that. And that's a combination of the executive coaching and the book writing.
Mhm.
And the reason I have both is I love both. Like they tap different parts of my brain, and I am a very active brainiac. Like I love being engaged, and I really love helping women in leadership to be able to say, okay, did you think about this way or that way? So between the two, I'd like to be at 50K months. I don't think I want to be much bigger than that, to be honest with you, because at 50K months, I can still um, manage everything pretty much with
Yeah.
a very small team. My husband's getting ready to retire. My kids are 18 and 16. In 3 years, we're going to be relocating. So I'm spending this next year or two just like really solidifying what are my SOPs, how do things look so that I can continue to do this,
Yeah.
in a few years when I'm going to be more part-time.
Amazing. And it's a nice goal to have. It's a comfortable life. It's exactly where you need to be. And it's just, as you say, helping as many women as possible along the way is also a really nice thing to add. Where are you probably like finding the biggest challenge for yourself when it comes to scaling the business, Donna?
Yeah. Until now, it's been lead flow.
Okay.
But the masterclass is doing really well. And I'll tell you why. And this is for anybody who's out there who's listening. The reason I was having trouble with masterclasses before was because I was just putting posts out there and just hoping that the universe would bring them to me. And now I have VAs who are trained and they are going into LinkedIn, they're going into Facebook, they're spending 40 hours a week messaging people, telling them about the workshop. I'm getting 40, 50 people saying that they're coming, and then I have 15 on there, right? So at first, when you're new with it, it's like, oh my God, 200 people signed up for my webinar. And then you go to the webinar and there are 8 people there, and you're like, what the heck? Right?
Yeah.
So having these VAs installed in my system that are like, messaging, following up, sending messages an hour before saying, don't forget, all of those things are paying huge dividends and it's completely worth it. In the
Yeah.
beginning, when you're an entrepreneur, you're like, I'm going to just do everything because I don't want to pay the whatever, right? And I'm currently using some VAs from the Philippines. So it's much more reasonably priced than, you know, hiring somebody in the US and they speak English and,
Yeah.
they're doing a beautiful job and I can pay them better than they're being paid in the Philippines. And that's been a game changer. I now am at the point where I will hire out for things instead of trying to teach myself, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't serve clients and be messaging people 40 hours a week. Like that needs to go to somebody else.
Yeah, it's so true. It's just such a better use of your time if you can outsource it. And it's
Mhm.
not to say that you can't do that job or you shouldn't learn that job, but it's just, as a founder, you will become the bottleneck if you continue to try and do everything. Things will
Yes.
suffer, the product will suffer, the clients will suffer. So,
Yes.
as you say, just invest in yourself and invest in the company is always that next step
Yep.
sometimes. But Donna, I have one final question to ask you before we log out. So, if you could go back in time to a younger self and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now, but that you didn't know then, what would you say to yourself?
You know, I would say I'll try to do two things and wrap them together. That if I was talking to the young Donna Marie, I would say you are enough and um, you have talents that you don't even know that you have, right? I spent so much time in my youth chasing excellence when I was already excellent, not believing that I had all the things when I had all the things, right? And I just turned 52, and there's something about hitting your 50s where you're finally like you hit your stride and you're like, damn, girl, I am all that. You know what I mean? Whereas when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you're like chasing everything. And now with social media, which we didn't have when I was, in your age group, like you're looking at these people and you're like, come
Yeah,
on. You know what I mean? You're always, but there's something that comes with age and comfort in your life to say, like, I'm exactly where I need to be and I'm good.
I love that. And you've made me looking forward to getting a little bit older. So, Donna, thank you
Great.
so much for joining me. And thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
So you can find me at sisterleader.org is my website, which is, if you just search sisterleader.org, you can find me under my name, Donna Cozine Mills, or Dr. DMC in Instagram. And Sister Leader Press is also on Instagram. It's DMC Sister Leader Press. And just reach out. I would love to hear from you. Come to a masterclass and get your book outlined.
There we go. And Donna, thank you again for joining us. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go and drop Donna a message. Dr. DMC is right here. And then do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we will see you on the next one.